right now on the web, we have the capability of knowing not just the demographic of who our viewer is. We know exactly who our viewer is, right? We know we can, if they're watching a piece of content on Facebook, I can scrape his Facebook profile and pull down a ton of information, or her Facebook. I can pull down all that information about them. I can pull down pictures of them, pictures of their friends. I know whether they're in a relationship or whether they're not, right? This is an essential quality of the web, and most of the video that we're making isn't taking advantage of it, right? Where are we leaving the gap for innovation in that system, right? Where are we saying, okay, this is the interactive portion of the programming, right? This is the part that like makes this story personal to you, right? I want to try to find ways to personalize things, right? I keep saying right, and I don't know why I keep doing that. I guess I just want you to agree with me. So a couple examples of personalization. They're very broad, and I want to think outside the box. The Old Spice guy. They created a media unit that talked directly to me, and I used my media unit to talk directly back to him, right? That conversation went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and actually saw a huge uptick on behalf of that brand. Another one, how many of you guys, what's that?
What was the conversation?
The conversation was a slightly benign conversation. It's like really, but for the most part, it was an egotistical conversation, saying to me, I'm more of a man than you are. Are you a man? No, I'm a real man. Look at your man. Look at me. Look at the ground. Look at my horse. Look at this. Look at that. Right? And I'm like, you're not more than a man than me, and you're going to call me out on the web? I'm going to call you out on the web. And that conversation starts, right? So it was his opinion versus my opinion, and it happened here and here and here and here and here. So another example of that, how many of you guys have seen the In the Wilderness Arcade Fire video on the web? So this really cool director, Chris Milk, decided, okay, I've got this music video that I'm going to create, and I'm going to ask the audience to put in their home address of where they grew up, right? And so you see this guy, he's running, and he's running, and he's running, and eventually, like, he stops, and he's breathing, and he's breathing, and he looks around, and he looks up, and it's the house that you grew up in. And there's a real visceral reaction when it's that personal, right? Like, you got the house that I grew up in front. He pulled it off of Google Maps, and he built this thing in HTML5 that, like, actually showed my neighborhood. And all of a sudden, these trees started growing in. That's personalization. That's interactivity. And I want to share that. I want to share that experience with someone else, right? Another thing he did, the same director, thinking really innovatively, he did a Johnny Cash video where everybody, the Johnny Cash project, where everybody sort of draws these, Johnny Cash drawings of this music video. And he made a music video that's comprised of people's drawings of Johnny Cash. It's a really cool project. Some of the stuff that we've done in here, like working with Mountain Dew to actually create a flavor of Mountain Dew and reaching out to people and saying, hey, send us what's your commercial for this, right? Like just inspiring other people to be creators, right? And maybe that's, and then they're sending us a video that we're syndicating on their behalf, and it's personalized to them. It's about them. I'm doing a project right now for my foundation called the Real Men Campaign, where it's we're trying to fight child sex slavery, and so we do this funny thing with an actor, and it's like real men know how to use an iron. You see this guy, and he's using this iron, and you realize he's ironing grilled cheese sandwich, and then it goes, real men know how to use an iron, real men don't buy girls, and then you see pictures of famous people who have signed up for this thing, and all of a sudden it's like your picture in the thing, and it's like, John Smith is a real man, are you? And it's taking a media unit, it's saying, now it's personal to me, now it's real to me. So this is all fine and dandy, right? And we can make really amazing creative stuff, and we can spend all of our money and hire engineers and build gadgets and code and all of this. Or we can become professional content creators, which means for this new medium, which means we have to get paid, right? And so in an effort to get paid, we need to think about, all right, who is, if we're looking for an advertiser or we're looking to go through a subscription model, we need to think about that. If it's an advertiser that we're looking to team up with, now we need to be thinking about not what's polarizing for me, what do they stand for? What do they believe in? Who are they? What is their audience? What is their demographic? Who am I going to target specifically on Facebook to inspire to be a part of this conversation? And so we're here on behalf of Intel, and Intel is making this whole thing possible for us today. So I wanted to sort of look at who Intel feels their audience is, and what are some of the key elements of Intel's audience, and what they would like our content to actually speak to. Now, I'm not saying we're not shooting commercials, right? We're shooting entertainment vehicles that a brand has inspired, which to me is so much more powerful than something that's got the brand all over it. And this is the brand. This is what the brand is kind of standing for. And so these are some of the groups of people that connect in. And what we've done is we've taken, so we've, technology. People who are into Intel are inspired by technology and fashion and travel, and they're expressive people, and they're brand conscious, and they're conscious about their community. And so what I always like to do is the first thing is somebody says to me I want to target the Boy Scouts, right? I'm like, okay, what the hell, trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Yeah. Those words, that is the Boy Scouts, right? So what we always try to do is we say, okay, this is your audience, right? Technology, that's pretty broad. What does technology stand for? How do those people want to feel? How do those people want to assert themselves? What do they think about themselves? They're premium customers. They're involved in their community. They care. They're influenced by others, but they have their own opinions, right? They believe in quality, style. They believe in that I am the power, that I can be the one that dreams bigger. And so it's another thing to sort of just keep in mind is a broad topic as we're thinking about the videos that we're building. Because why not think about it that way? We have a brand that has brought us together and given us the opportunity to do this. And this is the practice of creating digital media, because I don't know if subscription and pay-for models, we don't know how those are working on the web. And to be truthful, right now, the artists are getting screwed massively. So I can throw my video up here, there, or the other place, and somebody can do ad units on top of it that maybe don't match to the things that my content's about. And I want my sponsor, my brand vehicle to match to what my content is about. So we kind of have to meet them halfway. We got to meet them in the middle. And so these are good ideas to think about. So we're going to try to evoke polarization and thrash. We're going to try to evoke some level of personalization, and we should try to evoke the spirit of the brand in the content that we create, because it's a great exercise. I mean, we're all here for that exercise, and maybe to win, the grand prize at the end for having the video that the most people believe in. But by the way, I'll tell you, it's just as powerful to have the video that the fewest people believe in, because creativity lives on the edges. It lives in a place where half the people are going to say no. It lives in a place where the other half of the people are going to vehemently disagree. And so if maybe you have about 50% of people around you, or 20%, or 10%, and everybody else is on the other sides, not everybody's going to agree or necessarily like what you do. And that's what being boldly creative is about, and that's what being polarizing and personal is about. And let the personal thing be the thing that reaches out. So we're going to dream bigger. We're going to go bigger. We have some really cool tools available to us. I've talked a lot about how our content is going to include the vast capability of our new consuming device, where the consumer is actually a participant in the creative process. So one of the other things we should think about at the genesis of this is using those same social tools to help us come up with ideas or fill out our idea or do, that kind of thing. We have a lot of people that are watching live right now. And so I want to encourage the people that are watching live to do a search under the hashtag IdeaJam on Twitter. Hashtag IdeaJam, all one word. And I want to encourage you guys throughout the weekend, if you have process questions or you come up against something you want to make it different, or you're up, you're sort of brainstalling, use the wisdom of the crowd to maybe come up with an idea, and use that hashtag IdeaJam to ask questions, or maybe you'll need something, a prop that we don't have here to provide for you. And maybe somebody on Twitter will be watching and say, hey, I can bring a shovel down, no problem. And you'll save yourself some bucks, because sometimes that's what innovative producing is about. And another thing we want to do is, if you guys need to call on us for something at any point in time, this process is going to break down. You're each going to pitch out ideas. We're going to sort of narrow those ideas, and we're going to form groups. And once you form groups, if you have a phone, I assume everybody probably has a cell phone at this point. There's an app called GroupMe that you could download, and we have a Dream Bigger group that you can create that we've created on behalf of this. So if you have questions or needs from us specifically, it's a group texting platform. So if you have, say you have 5 people, you put those 5 people on that platform. You can all talk to each other, and we, as the Dream Bigger group, can listen to your conversation and help you out if you have requests. If you want to hit us directly, it's going to be a really fast way through group texting. You'll hit your group, and then we can hit you back. And or if we're trying to do a meetup or get everybody back together for whatever reason, we can sort of hit everybody at the same time, and we can give you updates that, somebody's here to speak at 6 if you want to check it out, or we have food available, or whatever it is. We can disseminate to all of you at the same time. So it's called GroupMe, GroupMe. It's an app. It should be available on every platform. And if it's not available on every platform, all you have to do is put in the phone number, and it'll hit you on SMS.
We set it up so it's called IdeaJam.
Sorry. So the group title, so when you sign in, you'll see there's group titles. There's a bunch of different things. We're under IdeaJam. So hit the IdeaJam group, and we can all sort of stay as a group and build this together and hopefully create a really killer community and some awesome content. So I'm going to bring my partner Jason up here, and he's going to talk a little bit about the way this is going to roll out and the way we're going to cruise.